relationships become stagnant when we form our boxes and the boxes stay, and then we're just fitting everything into that reality which we once formed. So in the parlance of Hollywood, I love you as much as the day we first met. So there, whatever it was 50 years ago that I was looking for in an external person who I knew nothing about, nothing has changed. And I'm exactly the same person as I was, and I'm looking for the same things, nothing has changed. So you have your box, everything just fits into your box, and that box never changes your whole life. So therefore, you've never changed your whole life, and everything it just stays the same. So that relationship is completely stagnant. There is no difference between our 50 years of marriage and the first day we met, because everything's just stagnant. There's no growth in anything. The mitzvah of Trumas Hadeshin, first says, because after the carbonos are burning overnight, so there's all these ashes left. So the mitzvah is to take out, put a shovel in the ashes and take them outside. So the first says that this is the first avot of the day, that you have to get in line with that. You can't rely on yesterday's achievements, and you can't rest on past glories, and that every day you need to recreate your own godless and recreate your own achievements. So see it a lot with, for example, in Jewish growth, where you're going through a period of growth, you're increasing, you're changing your relationship to Gemara, where you have a way of how you learn, and then whatever that way you learn is, and that's kind of fixed, whether it's in a more orthodox way when you leave school, and then you have your skills, and then when you're 20, you have your way that you do things, and therefore everything after that point, you're just going to fit into that box. So if you're doing Daf Yomi for the next 20 years, 50 years, all you're doing is just fitting the information into the box you created when you were 20, because that part of your life you're not really you're not doing the Trumas Hadeshin on. It's just you've created your box, and you're not pushing that box, and therefore whenever that box is pushed, you just fit everything into the box rather than examining, should I destroy this box? Have I been wrong the whole time? Because obviously you need time, and you need to care about these things in order to do that. And also destroying your box can also be very painful if you've taken on certain ideas to be true your whole life, and then you're facing the fact that maybe they're not true. There can be a lot of pain in there. So in order to develop a relationship, there has to be the constant breaking down of boxes, forming new boxes, which is the higher level of relationship, breaking down those boxes, and so goes the circle. Now we daven every day. Well, the reasons for that is because, again, like the Trumas Hadeshin, that every day is you're like a new person. You're like a new. You're not just doing the same things you were doing yesterday. You have to recreate. So there's a new relationship every day. Whoever you were on Tuesday talking to God, it's a different person who was talking to him on Monday. And then you see that also if you're davening Mincha Marav, there's a change. You're not just doing the same things over and over again. That the person who you are davening is different every time. Therefore, since there's a continual renewal of that relationship, so therefore I have to keep on having every day daven, multiple times during the day daven. So when the way that Gan Eden works is there's a revelation of God, and you understand that revelation of Hashem in a way that you hadn't seen before, and then you get tremendous hana from that revelation of Hashem. So then when that you kind of get it, so then you need to redefine the relationship, otherwise you're kind of stuck in this hell of you are I know that about God already. God's infinite. You have to keep on getting a bigger revelation, but that bigger revelation can only come if you every day break down your boxes and every day have new boxes. The ideas of the Gan Eden HaTachton and Gan Eden HaElyon, the lower Gan Eden, the higher Gan Eden. So that's just really ad infinitum. Every Gan Eden Tachton is an Elyon for another one. Every lower one's a higher one for the next one. As you go from the lower one to the higher one, that higher one is a lower one for the next higher one. But the only way that you can move through the levels of Gan Eden and change your relationship on an infinitesimal level, on a infinite level, is by constantly destroying your boxes and making new boxes. So it's called, the process is called that you go into the Nahar Dinur. Nahar Dinur is a term from Nach. It means the river of fire. And says when everyone dies, you got to go into the river of fire, because anything that you're attached to in the physical world is going to stop you having a relationship with God, and therefore you need to get rid of everything you know from this world, all the ideas and all the, again, what you think is good, what you think is bad, whatever fits in your box is good, whatever doesn't fit, whatever doesn't fit in your box is bad. I mean, real part of Emunah is that something happens, I don't like this feels terrible, I think everything's going to crap. But you know what? There are things in the world which I don't get, and that's fine, and so therefore God's in control, everything's good, new weiter. But it's hard to do that because when it's outside the box it doesn't fit. So it's far more painful to destroy the box, expand the box, and put these things I don't get into them, rather than I'll just feel bad and depressed about the whole thing because what just happened didn't fit into my script and how I want things to happen. But since my mind is so small and finite, so therefore I'm never going to get it anyway. The only things that are going to be good is things I don't get. So that's why Tov Ma'od is Melech HaMavnes, because things that I don't get in my box are going to be coming from a place that's far beyond. Whereas everything that I get, and I think, oh, this is wonderful. So it's just small and crap because I get it. And once I can get it, what am I really touching? I'm just touching infinity and smallness. So going to the Nahar Dinur breaks is a constant box breaker. It burns it off. So just like in therapy, where some people have the issues that can be very painful to work through. Breaking your box can be a very painful activity, but through that you're able to break down. Once you break down those boxes, then you can have your new one, and every day have a new relationship with God. So then therefore when you create your new box, which is like, wow, amazing, and you go to Gan Eden and this is just like the most amazing thing, you got to break that box in order to go to Gan Eden Ha'elyon. So that box, again, take another dip in the Nahar Dinur, go back to Gehenom, break that box, then you can go to Gan Eden Ha'elyon. Then when you get bored of that, you got to go back to Gehenom, break that box again ad infinitum.